Now that you know how to work with the canvas, draw and color objects, and make objects move, bounce, and grow in size, let's liven things up by adding some interactivity. In this chapter, you will learn how to make your canvas animations respond when a user presses a key on the keyboard. This way, a player can control an animation by pressing an arrow key or one of a few assigned letters on their keyboard like the classic W, A, S, D game controls. For example, instead of just having a ball bounce across a screen, we can have a player control the movement of the ball using the arrow keys. JavaScript can monitor the keyboard through keyboard events. Each time a user presses a key on the keyboard, they generate a keyboard event, which is a lot like the mouse events we saw in Chapter 10. With mouse events, we used jQuery to determine where the cursor was when the event took place. With keyboard events, you can use jQuery to determine which key was pressed and then use that information in your code. For example, in this chapter we'll make a ball move left, right, up, or down when the user presses the left, right, up, or down arrow key. We'll use the key down event, which is triggered whenever a user presses a key, and we'll use jQuery to add an event handler to the key down event. That way, every time a key down event occurs, our event handler function can find out which key was pressed and respond accordingly. In this next example, we create an object called keyNames, where the object keys are key codes and the values are the names of those keys. Delete the JavaScript in keyboard.html and replace it with this. Var keyNames equals 32 space 37 left 38 up 39 right 40 down body dot key down function event console dot log key names event dot key code. First, we create the key names object and fill it with the key codes 32, 37, 38, 39, and 40. The key names object uses key value pairs to match key codes such as 32, 37, and so on with corresponding labels, such as space for the space bar and left for the left arrow. We can then use this object to find out the name of a key based on its key code. For example, to look up the key code 32, enter key names 32. That returns the string space. And we use the key names object in the key down event handler to get the name of the key that was just pressed. If the event key code referenced by event.keycode matches one of the keys in the key names object, this function will log the name of that key. If no key matches, this code will log undefined. Load keyboard.html in your browser. Open the console, click in the main browser window, and try pressing a few keys. If you press one of the 5 keys in the key name object, the arrow keys or spacebar, the program should print the name of the key. Otherwise, it will print undefined. Try it out. Add more key value pairs to the key names object so that it can convert more keys to names. Insert the key codes and names for Shift, Enter/Return, and Alt/Option. Now that we can determine which key is being pressed, we can write a program to use the keyboard to control the movement of a ball. Our program will draw a ball and move it to the right. Pressing the arrow keys will change the ball's direction, and pressing the space bar will stop it. If the ball goes off the edge of the canvas, it will wrap around to the opposite side. For example, if the ball goes off the right edge of the canvas, it will show up again on the left edge while continuing to move in the same direction, as shown in Figure 15:1. Figure 15:1. If the ball moves off the right side of the canvas, it will reappear on the left. Well, use an object called keyActions to find out which key was pressed and then use that information to set the direction of the ball's movement. Use set interval to continually update the ball's position and redraw it at its new position. Move. Ball.prototype. Ball to a new location based on its current location, x speed and y speed. Add this method after the ball constructor. Ball.prototype. .move equals function. This x equals this dot x speed. This y equals this dot y speed. If this x, this x equals width, else if this x width, this x equals 0, else if this, y, this, y, equals height. Else if this, y, height, this, y, equals 0. First we update this .x and this .y using this .x speed and this .y speed, just as we did in chapter 14. See moving the ball. After that is the code for when the ball reaches the edge of the canvas. The if, else statement it checks the ball's position to see if it has moved off the edge of the canvas. If it has, this code makes the ball wrap around to the other side of the canvas. For example, if the ball goes off the left edge of the canvas, it should reappear from the right side of the canvas. In other words, if this .x is less than 0, we set this .x to width, which places it at the very right edge of the canvas. The rest of the if, else statement deals with the other 3 edges of the canvas in a similar way. Draw, move, ball.prototype, .draw, equals, function, circle this, x, this, y, 10, true. This method calls the circle function. It uses the ball's x and y values to set the center of the ball, sets the radius to 10, and sets fill circle to true. Figure 15-2 shows the resulting ball. Set direction. This method will be called by our keyDown event handler, which you will see in the next section. The keyDown handler will tell set direction which key was pressed by passing it a string. Left, up, right, down, or stop. Based on that string, set direction will change the x speed and y speed properties of the ball to make it move in the direction that matches the key press. For example, if the string down is passed, we set this .x speed to 0 and this .y speed to 5. Add this code after the draw method. Ball.prototype .set direction equals function direction if direction equals up this .x speed equals 0 this .y speed equals -5 else if direction equals down this .x speed equals 0 this .y speed equals 5 else if direction equals left this .x speed equals -5 this .y speed equals 0 else if direction equals right this .x speed equals 5 this .y speed equals 0 else if direction equals stop this .x speed equals 0 this .y speed equals 0. The entire body of this method is one long if, else statement. The new direction is passed into the method as the direction argument. If direction is equal to up, we set the ball's x speed property to 0 and its y speed property to -5. The other directions are handled in the same way. Finally, if the direction is set to the string stop, we set both this .x speed and this .y speed to 0, which means that the ball will stop moving.